What up? Jeff here with all my Bitcoin Renegades, and today is the happiest day in crypto in a long time, guys. I am floating sky high right now. I'm super happy. Everything is playing out how I would imagine it. Everything is looking good. I was pretty shook up last week, I'm not going to lie to you. Even earlier this week, I'm not going to lie to you. I was pretty shook up, guys. I wasn't shook up enough to paper hand out, but I was shook up enough that I was worried. Like, I don't like to be worried. Like, the worries belong to the worrisome, and I don't want to be worrisome, right? So I don't like it when I get that way. That's why these videos are an amazing outlet for me. So instead of selling my crypto, I can make a video complaining about how I don't like that I'm losing money in crypto right now. And then that takes place of me actually having to sell my crypto because of emotional, or whatever you want to call that feeling in you, and you're like, man, am I doing the right thing? Am I putting all of this is like my future here. Is this the right thing that I'm doing? And sometimes you just got to trust that what you did was the right thing. You follow through. And most of the time, when you do something, you set your mind to it, and you follow through, it's going to be successful. Almost no matter what it is. Now, there are exceptions to that rule, of course. You know, things can go wrong. But for the most part, if you really put the time, the effort, the energy into anything, you can accomplish it. So, and now that's what we're talking about with Bitcoin. It's been a rough week. And even month, we could say. Or if you want to get even back further, it's been a rough 5 or 6 months, you know, until we hit right here. Then we had like a nice, but it was hard going all the way up every time. So even when we got up here, it was fighting, scratching, clawing, kicking, you know, screaming, fighting all the way up. And then we got up, and then we just dumped twice, 2 big dumps. And yeah, it was just a very psychological thing, guys. And I think that that's why that they do that, is to make you trade off of emotion and not off of intellect. So that is one thing. Never trade crypto, stocks, anything emotionally. You have to do it with a level head. You have to calm down. Like, if you're going to emotionally trade and you're mad, set your phone down, set your computer down, walk away, just like you would in a fight with your spouse. You walk away so you don't say something or do something that you will regret later, because you will. And then you'll either have to apologize or find a new wife, right? Or, lose all your money compared to just walk away, come back when you're thinking clearly, and then make your decision, not off of emotion, but off of intellect. And then you'll be successful, or at least if you lose, you didn't lose from emotional, emotional manipulation of the market. Because whether there's a person, whether it's just the market in general, it has a way of emotionally manipulating people, or even intellectually manipulating people as well. So now the intellectual manipulation is a lot easier to deal with because it's a straightforward thing. They try to trick you out of the coin, right? Now emotional is what we had here with Bitcoin, which is when we had this huge bear market. We finally start to go up, and then, we scratch and claw all the way. We finally get to 50K, get over 50K, and then we dump all the way back down to 40K. And we stay there, and altcoins go way down, and all it was is a giant reset. It's like somebody hit the reset button, like Elon did over here. He hit the reset button over here, and then it seems like China ban and all that hit the reset button here, just like they did last time. They knew that it worked. So when something works, they do it again, right? So the China ban thing worked in the first part of the bull market and dropped us down all the way to 30,000, right? So they did it again. But guess what? Just like Elon Musk, just like anybody who abuses their power, they lose that power immediately. It doesn't do as much as it did the last time. So it did work a little bit. It knocked us down from 52 all the way down to 40 for like a week. But guess what? September's over, baby. The red month is over, baby. Now you trying to manipulate it in a green month? I'm not going to say good luck. I'm not going to say try to do it because then they might try to do it. But hey, you lost. So, suck it up. Bitcoin's looking good. Crypto's looking good. We have nothing to worry about. We're going to see 50K soon. And then we're going to massively pump to the upside, guys. New crazy all-time highs are coming. And they're coming soon. Within the next 2 months, we are going to see all-time highs for Bitcoin. Crazy, crazy, crazy $10,000 to $20,000 candles to the upside. That's what we're looking for in the future. That is what is going to really stick Bitcoin out into the world as our new choice of a currency. Now, instead of only having a US dollar that we can use to pay for stuff, we now have a different option. We now have thousands of different options how to pay. That is cool. Now it doesn't feel like we are forced to use whatever money they tell us that we have to use. It's freedom, guys, in money form. We have freedom in money form. Now, America's all about freedom, right? Well, they give us this money that we have to use, and it's worth exactly what it has to be, and it always will be that, unless the feds decide to do something about it. If they decide to print more money, the money loses value. If they decide to burn money, it could gain value. And then it also depends on the mortgage rates or the debt ratio, right? And how they, do all of the things behind the scenes to try to help the housing market and with all of the interest rates and stuff. You know what I mean? All of that stuff that the government controls to try to help us out of the pandemic. Well, in the past, they've used that against us. Now we don't have to just rely on them to completely and totally control money. That's the good thing. Like, I trust America more than I trust any other country to control money, honestly. But decentralized, not having to trust anybody, even better. I mean, that's good for America. That's freedom at its core. Now our money is free. Did he just say that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Our money's free. I said it. I did. I did. I said that. And I mean it. Because now our money is free. We are no longer bound by the American dollar. Just like you, wherever you're at. You're no longer bound by your government's money. Plain and simple. Normally, the fix to that was, well, if you don't like the United States and you don't like the U.S. money, get out of the U.S. Well, I don't want to do that. I love the U.S., dude. This is where I was born and raised, man. I love my country. Just because I don't want the money that the country has, and it isn't that I don't want the money that the country has, that I don't want to be forced to have the money that the country has, right? I don't want to be forced to do anything. That is what freedom is. The choice to make your own choice as long as it doesn't hurt anybody else. That is freedom at its core. And that is what I think Bitcoin and cryptocurrency bring to us, is that financial freedom that we didn't have before in society, in the world. Now we have pure financial freedom from every entity. They can't just come and take your money like from a bank. Now the bank works with the government. I'm not saying to do anything to get, the government to come after you, because I'm sure if they wanted to, they could get you. They're the government. But for the most part, if you're doing things legit, they don't want to come after you, dude. So that's the thing. The government is giving us a leeway with this. They're not. So this is the good news. They could do what China did and be like, nah, we're not having no monetary takeover and ruin our dollar. Come on. But we're smart. I mean, the world is smart. Now, China, they're controlling the people. That's different. That has nothing to do with money, guys. That has to do with control. Well, maybe a little bit to do with money, but a lot to do with control and power and communism. So, unfortunately, guys in China, I feel bad for you that they're doing this to you. I apologize to you for your own government, that they would treat you like that they would literally take your humanity and put it on show, basically. Like, oh, well, if you do use cryptocurrency, you're basically not Chinese. You don't belong in China. Well, what the heck? Okay, it's illegal. You don't want to, break the law of your country. But what if the laws are ridiculous? What if the laws don't make sense? And they're there to hurt people and not help them? That's what I'm so glad that I live in America, man. And that they, even though they're probably going to regulate it, and it's probably going to mess the price up in the future, but they're not all out banning it, and not even shadow banning it like India was doing. They were shadow banning it, and they were thinking about a complete blanket ban of crypto over in India, and they didn't do that. Thank you. And then they did it in China, and I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I should have, I guess. That's just the way that, that kind of a government works. Now, India could follow suit. But as far as I know, India is not a communist country. So, I don't know about that. I actually should probably do some more research on India so that I can see. Because I never really cared about all this stuff before, right? So I was just into doing my own thing. As I get older, these last like 5 or 10 years, I've really started to love learning. And I had that when I was younger, and I just lost it because I found girls and drugs. So yeah, I decided to go down those roads instead of the intellectual monetary road, which would actually have got me the things that I wanted in the first place. Besides the drugs part, but yeah, it would have got me everything that I wanted. I didn't know that. Hard work gets you what you want. And now as an adult, I am going after that. I am doing whatever I can to achieve that goal in my own way. Now, there's a way that society says to do things. There's a way that everybody else says to do things. I have misspoke before because I said I've done it all without help. Actually, I've had a lot of help. I mean, technically, in these last couple of years, there has been a lot of counselors and a lot of people in the city of Seattle that have helped me. So when I say I did it all on my own, I mean the monetary part. I've done all the monetary stuff by myself, minus like, low income housing. That has been something that has helped me, and hopefully I will be out of soon, and to change my life completely. And never did I know that, while I was getting better off of drugs, that my migraines would go away and I wouldn't be disabled anymore, and that I could actually start a career now. So there was a lot of things that led me to where I am. And I'm gonna do an auto videography for you guys, which means basically I'm doing it myself. And so I'll do it on here, and it might blow your mind, some of the stuff that I'm going to tell you about what happened in my life. I've been through a lot of stuff, especially in my 20s and not early 30s, probably 20s and late teens. So I went through a lot of stuff. A crazy divorce, a lot of drugs. I almost died a lot of times. I got shot at. I've just had so many different things that happened to me because of my life choices. And now I am free of that. And I have this thing that is helping me to stay off of drugs and to lead me into financial security like I never thought that I would have in my life. Like I never thought I'd have a good credit score. I always messed up everything. I had so many medical bills growing up and into my early adulthood that my credit was shot from 18 because of all the medical bills that went to collections. And then finally I got, like I said, I guess I haven't done it all on my own because I did get on SSI, which was state assistance, and I did get on Medicaid, which paid to treat my migraines and find a way out of it. And then finally I quit smoking, and all of the years of me being clean and not hurting my body, I guess my migraines were like, okay, you quit doing all the drugs, you quit smoking, well, we're gonna give you your head back, I guess. I don't know. And then my migraines kind of dissipated a lot. They happen every now and again, like if I do a video for too long, or if I drink the wrong wine, which I don't really ever do. I don't even remember the last time I drank wine. I don't, like 10 years ago maybe. And like some chocolate but yeah, for the most part, I'm healed. And now I have this opportunity to change my life and to make this cryptocurrency a real backbone in my transition period. And if I can start a YouTube channel and educate people about this and maybe make it to a career and get hundreds of thousands of subscribers, then I'll really start to make better videos. And they won't just be like, hey, Bitcoin is at this price, yay! They'll be more like, this is what you need to do to obtain true wealth, and this is the step-by-step way to do it. The only reason I don't do that is because if the step-by-step way doesn't work and you guys lose all your money, then you can come and sue me and be like, well, he told me to do it. No, I didn't. Not financial advice, entertainment purposes only. Just know that. Everything that I tell you has value, but it's up to you to decide how that value works in your life. This is not me telling you to do anything ever. This is you listening to my video, hopefully getting something positive out of it and something that you can use, and that is the whole point of these videos. Maybe even what I'm saying today is maybe just to inspire you a little bit. Even if it's not going to make you money per se right offhand by learning about my story and how I overcame, but it possibly will be a connection point for something in your life. You'd be like, well, I know what that struggle's like. I know what that's like. And so that's why I think I'm the perfect YouTuber, because I fit that bill. Like, I have the face for it. Yeah, I'm missing my bottom teeth. That normally, I'm pretty okay looking. I've always been good at approaching people, cold calling, like selling magazines or, seeing you on YouTube. I didn't even know about YouTube. If I would have done this 10 years ago, I would have been a millionaire right now. But these are the things that will build you up. And if you listen and you learn and you take it and you do your research and apply it to your own life in your own way, then you'll be successful too, no matter where you're at. And I'm speaking to those people who lost everything. I'm speaking to those people whose wives cheated on them, that lost their houses, that lost all their money in Bitcoin, that just lost everything. You can come back from it. I don't know how many times that I have had to start over in my life. And it started in childhood, even with my mom, and moving around and losing everything. You know how many times I've lost all of my stuff? 30? 40? Had to start from scratch, brand spanking new. And the last time I did it was 3.5 years ago when I moved in here. The place that I lived before this, oh gosh, I don't even know if I want to tell you guys. It had bed bugs. It had cockroaches. It was the most despicable place I ever lived in. It was in downtown Seattle on 2nd Avenue. I'm not going to tell you the building, but man, it was horrible. And so why I say I had to start over, I burned everything in that apartment. I was not going to transfer any cockroaches or any bed bugs to my new place, which is really nice. This is where I'm at now. Some people say it looks like a hotel room, a 1-bedroom hotel room with a beautiful view. No, this is an apartment building, and it took me years to get this. It took me 4.5 years waiting to get this place. And so, yeah, I had to go through a lot of not too nice things like bed bugs. And it was my neighbors down there. So the first time I ever saw them, right, it scared me, and I could never get over the feeling of something crawling on me and eating me while I was sleeping. And so I did everything that I was supposed to do. I got rid of all the stuff. I washed everything. I burnt everything that needed to, go through the dryer or a heat treatment. Got rid of them. And then my neighbors wouldn't, though. That was the thing. I did all the work that needed to be done in my apartment and then they would keep coming from under my neighbor's door. And so there was nothing that I could do to get rid of them until I left there. So that's why I said I just left everything. I started brand new. And I've done that 20, 30 different times in my life. And if that's happened to you, you can start from scratch. And look, this last year at this time I had $0. $0, 0 cents when I first started on Express Crypto. Now look, this is real money. Like, it's not a whole lot, but still, I was able to do a lot of good things with the money that I've made as well. And I've made more than this, and I gave it all away. And that's, I probably could have used it to buy more crypto and get out of my situation, but I would much rather help people than just look after myself in the first place. So what I'm doing now is I'm really going to try to accumulate that wealth, though, so that I can help on a grander scale. Now, that might be a dream of grandiose or whatever, but I think it's good for me, and I think it's good to have a dream and a goal. Like I told you guys before, you can always donate to my homeless ministry. What I do is I go around Seattle and I hand out tents and socks and underwear and other essential items to people around the city. Now, if you're donating for that, you need to let me know what the donation is for. If you're just supporting the channel, or if you want to actually donate to a ministry. There's a difference between supporting the channel. That's not a donation. That's just like you guys supporting me. Now the donation is for the homeless ministry. And I'll tell you how it started, guys. So I'm on my way, I don't even know if it was to church or just driving around one day. And it was a couple of years ago. And I remembered what it was like to be homeless, right? And it was wintertime, and I saw this guy walking down the road here, just down the road, on my way to wherever I was going. And this guy didn't have any shoes on. He didn't have a coat. I mean, he was shivering, like suffering. You could like visually see he was suffering. And people were just walking by him, ignoring him. And it just hurt my heart that I didn't have anything to help that guy at that moment. So from then on, I have always made it a goal to have a sweater or shoes or a blanket or something in my car that if I run across somebody like that is literally suffering in public in front of everybody and nobody's doing anything about it, that I can be the person to step in. And you know, this person might have mental health problems, dude. A normal person doesn't stand outside in the snow barefoot without a coat unless either they have mental problems or they're on a bender and have been on drugs for a long time. Because once you're on drugs for a long time, I lost my shoes before. I woke up standing up and I didn't have my shoes on. I didn't know where I was or how I got there. I just knew I woke up without shoes on. And so drugs can do some bad things to you. You know, so I understand that he might not have mental health problems, but it might be drug induced. So who knows? But ever since that point, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't just not do something about that. Because I've been there, like that same situation I've been in. And so, yeah, I think there's a reason that I've been through some of the things that I have so that I can have that compassion for people that, you know, everybody else is just walking by and I'm like, man, I've been there. I've been that guy. You know, like staying out all night without a coat. Like, because I didn't have a coat, not because I didn't want one. You know, so there's a lot of different things. I know this is a lot off of the topic of crypto, but this is a whole story of, you know, a life-changing opportunity that was presented to me in crypto and how I got from where I was to where I am now. And that, to me, is more value than any kind of crypto that I can give you. If I can give you hope, if I can inspire you to help homeless people, you don't have to just donate to me, dude. You can help homeless people yourself if you want. You can go give away clothes and coats. I'd rather have you do that than donate to my ministry. I would much rather have you go out and hand out pants and, you know, sleeping bags and tents and underwear and socks. Socks especially. Now, socks and shoes are essential. You cannot imagine not having a pair of socks or shoes and you live in the city. You don't have a house. You live on the street in the city with no shoes. I mean, that is a hard life, man. Imagine if you lived nowhere and didn't even have a pair of shoes. Now, you don't get prepared for that in school. They don't prepare you for what to do. If you're a grown person that, you know, did drugs in their life and now you're living on the street with no shoes. Yeah, they should maybe not prepare you in school for that, but maybe like in high school, they should take people or take the kids down like to the city to places like this if they could do it safely and show people. You know, show the kids this, then it might inspire in their hearts to help them. That's the thing. Yeah, I guess community service is supposed to be a thing in school now, and I kind of agree with that. I don't agree with forcing kids to do anything, but I think if it's a, you know, positive thing like that, that yeah, they should do community service. They should learn how to be a part of a community and to help people when they see it. That's what we want to instill in our young people, is to help people when they need it, because the world is a lot of people that just walk by people that need help. That is what the main world looks like. Now, if we can instill in the hearts of these kids to not do that, to stop and help somebody when nobody else is, don't think that, oh, well, I'm not going to help them because the next person is going to, or they got themselves into that situation. They did. But you can be the one to help them maybe see that people still care about them. I know that was one of my main things when I was down and out. Dude, nobody cared about me. I knew it. Even my family that loved me dearly. No, nobody could care about me. Well, that's just because you're in the worst situation of your life. How could anybody care about you when you're literally have no place to go, no shoes, nobody's helping you? What kind of world is that? That's not what I want to live in. I want to live in a world where, man, if we see somebody without shoes, there are people running over there to help him. You know, like 10 people stop. Hey, what's going on, man? What can we do to help you? Where can, whether it be mental health help, whatever you can do for that person that is, or tell them about God, just something. Give them a pair of shoes. Yeah, smile at them. Something, like just to show him that he's a person, that or she, whatever. Oh, there's a story. There's a story I got, and maybe I'll just tell it right now. So on one of my homeless ministries, I don't know if I told you guys this story or not yet. On one of my homeless ministries that I did, it was a day I didn't want to go by myself. Like, I normally do it on my own and just go down there and hand things out so I can do it quickly and efficiently. But that day, I had a feeling I didn't want to be alone handing this stuff out. I don't know why. So I asked this guy at my church, I was like, hey, bro, will you come with me today to hand this stuff out? I, really could use some help. I love doing it, but I kind of need someone, there to support me while I do this. And so he's like, yeah, man, no problem. Cool. I'm like, yes, cool. Got someone to help me. And so we go downtown Seattle, and it's right next to the women's shelter. And we're handing stuff out to the people kind of by the movie theater over there. And then we hand stuff to this one lady, and she's like, hey, there's a lady over there in the dumpster. And we're like, what? And she's like, yeah, she's like sick. We're like, she's alive? She's like, yeah, she's just laying in there. We're like, okay. Like, we're thinking she was telling us there was some dead body in the dumpster over there or something. And so she's like, no, she's alive. So we go over there. We're like, no way, this can't be true. There's no one in the dumpster, dude. People don't go in the dumpster. Come on. So we go to this alley. It stunk back there bad. And it was right behind the women's shelter. And so we go over and we lift it up. And sure enough, there's this 19-year-old girl in there. Her pants are ripped, and she said she'd been attacked, because we asked her, we're like, why are you in the garbage? You got to get out of there, please. What if they come and, dump the machine and you're in here? They will kill you. You could possibly die. We don't want, and so she's like, well, I want food. And we're like, yeah, we'll get you food. Just come out of there. And she's like, no, get me the food first. And so this is where I'm glad my friend was there, and I don't know if I could have handled this situation on my own. I might have, but I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to find out. But so I was like, well, I'll go get some clothing for her because her pants were ripped. She said somebody attacked her, and that's why she was in the dumpster hiding. And her pants were ripped. She was attacked. You could see. And she was only like 19 years old. It was so sad, because at the time I think my daughter was like 15 or 14 or something. And so I go into dad mode, right? And so we get her, my friend goes to Subway. I didn't have any cash at the time. So this was a miracle that my friend was there. He had money. And so he went over to Subway and bought her a foot-long sandwich. And she wanted to just eat it in the dumpster, but we're like, no, we're not going to give it to you unless you get out. We're trying to help you. There's a woman's shelter right around the corner. We'll give you this food, and then we'll get you into the homeless shelter. We'll walk you over there and make sure they take you in, because it was the middle of the day. I don't know if they normally took them in or not, but this girl was literally 10 feet from the back door of the woman's shelter in a dumpster. Okay, so she got out, we wrapped some clothes around her, and we walked her to the front door of the women's shelter. We got her in, and the people in there were just ignoring her, and she wanted to leave. Okay, and this was turning to be a bad situation now. Now the people at the shelter didn't want to help this lady that had just spent the night in the dumpster and was attacked. And here's these two guys, me and my friend, trying to advocate for her. Like, no, you guys need to help her now. This is not a joke. She's not just some throwaway piece of trash that it looked like you guys just threw her in the dumpster, to get rid of her. Because, I know that's not what happened, but that's kind of what it seemed like. That this person is 19 years old, this young female. And she's living in in a dumpster overnight? Could you imagine, guys, the stench? Could you imagine how scared you must be to be in a dumpster, to feel safe in a place like that? Where would you have to come from to feel safe in a place like that? Like that really starts, it's hard to talk about. But so finally, I just keep going up to the counter And I'm like, man, you guys need to help this lady. Like, we've been here for like 20 minutes waiting for whatever you need to do to intake her. And finally, another lady came out of the back. And this must have been God or something, because this one lady out here was not helping. This girl was going to leave. Who knows what would have happened to her if she would have left. So finally, this other lady came out, God sent, I knew it. And she's like, oh, like actually heard the story, heard what was going on. She's like, okay, we're going to get her in right away. Got her into a shower, got her clothes. Boom. That's the thing. Like, you always can have one person that like holds up everything and was really being rude. And this girl was going to leave. And I don't know if she would have made it if she would have left that shelter at that time in her condition. Now, when me and my friend went back to that area again to hand out clothes, my friend's like, oh, I got to go in and check. So he went in and asked them. And I guess somehow the lady that helped her was there that day. And she's like, yeah. So she stayed here for like 2 days. And then, you know, she left after she got all cleaned up and everything. We wanted her to stay longer, but at least she got cleaned up and stuff before she left, and she wasn't, you know, smelling like a dumpster and have ripped clothes. And so that was a happy ending to a really weird, hard situation. But yeah, so that's why I do this homeless ministry, is because of stuff like that. I never thought, imagine if me and my friend weren't there that day. That's what I think. Like, what would have happened to that girl if we didn't show up that day? Like, a dumpster is a bad place to sleep, guys, because if that thing grabs you, there's going to be no way that you're going to be able to get out of that trash can onto the ground before it dumps you into the back of that truck. It will happen so fast, and you're laying in there at the time, you know, like probably sleeping. I don't know if you can sleep with that smell, but she might have been trying to sleep. So yeah, we're just glad we don't have to think about that, and nothing bad happened to her. And you know, we were her advocate. You know, nobody was helping her, and we made them help her. Like, if that lady wouldn't have came out, I was going to end up in a screaming match with this lady, because she literally didn't care. Like, I'm like, you're a homeless shelter. You need to help this 19-year-old girl that was in the dumpster. Come on, man. Where's your humanity? And then the other lady came out. It was awesome. So, yeah, guys, so that all kind of led me to crypto, and that's why I'm talking about the homeless ministry and stuff. And if you want to donate to that, let me know. You can either contact me directly on Twitter or Telegram, or even on a comment here, and we can work something out. Or if you just want to donate money, or if you want to come, if you live in Seattle and you want to donate your time, and you want to go out there with me and maybe help save some other homeless girl's life in a dumpster, then I would be more than happy for that too. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that you guys can do to help, man. Just go give out. You don't even have to use my ministry to do it. You know, you can do it on your own. Just always keep an extra blanket in your car. Always keep an extra pair of shoes. Always keep a pair of socks. You know, just stuff like that in your car, a water bottle, so that you can give to somebody who has nothing, that is on the worst day of their life. And the biggest thing that could change their day is a pair of socks and a bottle of water. Imagine if that's all you wanted out of the day, is a pair of socks and a bottle of water. There's people like that out there. So, yeah, crypto's doing great today. I'm glad that I could tell that story to you guys. I hope it inspires you to help people. And yeah, so crypto's doing good. Bitcoin's up. I can't wait to do the videography to actually tell you more stuff. You think that story was crazy? Oh man, that's like one of my least crazy stories. So yeah, I will make that in the future. I don't know exactly when, but it's gonna be soon. I don't know. All right, guys, that being said, you know what time it is. Goodbye and good Bitcoin.